Oh no! I'm late! Seriously? Perfect. Wait! Of course, I left it at home. This is going to be a terrible day. Sorry I'm late. Okay, so the main...
Adam, I think that's incorrect.
Yeah, you're right. I can't do anything right today. Everyone's doing better than me. Today just sucks.
Adam,
Oh,
you look exhausted.
you look exhausted.
It's been a bad day. What happened?
I woke up late, spilled coffee, missed the bus, forgot my presentation, and now I just feel like everything is going wrong.
Everything? Or just a few things? You had a bad morning. Then you had a difficult meeting. But now you're carrying both of those things into lunch. And if you're not careful, you'll carry them into the rest of the day too.
So what am I supposed to do? Everything is fine.
Just start again. You can't change the morning, but you can decide what happens next.
Okay, one thing at a time.
Exactly.
Welcome to the channel. This is Vocab Waves.
Hello everyone and welcome to Vocab Waves, the place where you can improve your English by listening to real conversations about real life. I'm Adam and I'll be your host today, and I'm here with Sarah. Sarah, welcome back to Vocab Waves.
Thank you, Adam. It's always great to be here. And hello, everyone. I'm really happy you're joining us today.
And today's conversation is about something that sounds simple, but can actually be pretty difficult. We're talking about how to be positive every day.
That's a really interesting topic, because I think almost everyone wants to be more positive. But the difficult question is, how do you actually do it?
Exactly. It's easy to say, think positive, but when you're tired, stressed, disappointed, or having a terrible day, thinking positively can feel like the last thing you want to do.
Absolutely. And I think that's where people sometimes misunderstand positivity. They imagine that being positive means being happy all the time.
Right. Like you wake up in the morning and say, today is going to be amazing, every single day.
Even when you didn't sleep well.
Even when you have an important meeting at 8 in the morning.
Even when your alarm didn't go off.
Exactly.
But real life doesn't work like that. Sometimes you wake up tired. Sometimes your plans don't work out. Sometimes someone disappoints you. Sometimes you make a mistake. And sometimes you simply wake up in a bad mood. That doesn't make you a negative person.
I like that. So maybe being positive doesn't mean feeling happy every day.
Exactly. I think there's a difference between feeling positive and choosing a positive response.
Can you explain that?
Sure. Let's say you have a really difficult morning. Maybe you're late. Maybe you miss your bus. Maybe your manager gives you some criticism. You might feel frustrated. That's completely normal. You don't have to look in the mirror and say, "I'm happy, everything is wonderful," when you're clearly not feeling that way.
That would probably feel a little fake.
Very fake. Instead, you can simply say, "Okay, this isn't going well right now," and then ask yourself, "What can I do next?"
So the important word there is next, not how can I fix my entire life, just what can I do next?
Exactly. Sometimes we make our problems feel much bigger because we're trying to solve everything at once.
That's true. Something small happens, and suddenly we're thinking about 10 other things.
Yes, one problem can easily lead to another problem in our mind. You miss your bus. Then you think you're going to be late. Then you start worrying about what your boss will say. Then you remember an unfinished task. Then you start thinking about money. Then you start thinking about the future. And suddenly, you're not thinking about the missed bus anymore. You're thinking about your whole life.
That's painfully accurate.
And the funny thing is, all of that can happen in about 30 seconds.
Our brains are very talented.
They really are. But that's why learning to pause can be so useful.
Pause?
Yes. When something goes wrong, don't immediately react to every thought that comes into your head. Take a breath. Give yourself a moment. Then decide what actually needs your attention.
That's difficult, though, especially when you're already frustrated.
It is. And that's why it's a habit. You don't become good at it overnight. You practice. The first few times, you might still react emotionally. But eventually, you start noticing the moment when your mind begins to go negative.
So you can actually catch yourself?
Yes. You might suddenly think, why does this always happen to me? And then you catch yourself. You stop. And you ask, does this really always happen to me?
Usually, no.
Exactly. We use words like always and never when we're upset. Everything is going wrong. Nothing is working. Everyone is against me. I never get a break. But those words can make a difficult situation feel much worse.
So instead of saying everything is going wrong, I could say, I'm having a difficult morning.
Yes. And notice how different that sounds. I'm having a difficult morning. It describes the situation. It doesn't define your entire day.
I'm having a difficult morning. Yeah, that sounds much more manageable.
Exactly. And this is something you can use in English too. When you're learning English, it's very easy to use extreme sentences about yourself. You might say, my English is terrible.
I've definitely said that.
A lot of learners say that. But imagine changing it to, I'm still improving my English.
That's much more positive.
And it's probably more accurate too, because if you're here listening to an English conversation, you're already learning.
Exactly. You don't have to be perfect to be improving.
Right. And I think that's an important mindset for learning anything. Don't ask yourself, am I perfect yet? Ask yourself, am I getting better?
That's a really good question, because when you focus only on perfection, you can easily become frustrated.
Yes, and frustration can make you want to give up. But progress is usually much slower and quieter than we expect.
What do you mean by that?
Think about learning English. Maybe a month ago, you were afraid to speak. Today, you can speak for 5 minutes. Maybe you still make mistakes. But you're speaking. That's progress. Maybe you couldn't understand a certain type of conversation before. Now you understand most of it. That's progress too.
So sometimes we don't notice progress because we're looking at how far we still have to go.
Exactly. We're so focused on the next level that we forget to appreciate the level we've already reached.
That's true. And I think that happens outside English too. People look at someone who's already successful and think, I want to be there. But they forget that person probably started somewhere too.
Absolutely. And that's where comparison becomes dangerous.
Especially with social media.
Especially with social media. You can have a completely normal day. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, nothing terrible happens. But then you open your phone, and within 5 minutes, you see 10 people who seem to have better lives than you.
Someone is traveling. Someone got promoted. Someone bought a new car. Someone is getting married. Someone is starting a business. Someone is having the perfect weekend.
And suddenly, your normal day doesn't feel good enough.
Even though nothing actually changed.
Exactly. Your life didn't become worse. You just started comparing it to someone else's highlight.
That's an important word, highlight.
A highlight is the best or most exciting part of something. So when we say someone's highlights, we're talking about the best moments they choose to show.
So if I compare my normal Tuesday to someone's best vacation photos, I'm not making a fair comparison.
Not at all. You're comparing your everyday reality with someone else's best moments. And that's a very easy way to feel like you're falling behind.
But how do you stop comparing yourself? Because you can't just stop seeing other people's lives.
You can't control everything you see, but you can control how much attention you give it. And more importantly, you can remind yourself that everyone's journey is different.
What does that mean to you?
It means you don't have to reach every goal at the same age. You don't have to have the same career as your friends. You don't have to earn the same amount of money. You don't have to live the same lifestyle. Your life isn't late just because someone else's life moved faster in one area.
Your life isn't late. I really like that.
Because sometimes we treat life like a race. We look around and think, they're ahead of me. But ahead of what? There's no single finish line.
That's true. And maybe being positive starts with accepting where you are right now.
Yes, not giving up on where you want to go. Just accepting where you are while you're working toward it.
So you can say, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm moving in the right direction.
Exactly. And that word, yet, is powerful. I'm not confident yet. I'm not fluent yet. I haven't reached my goal yet. It leaves the door open.
It means the story isn't finished.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the biggest things people forget when they're having a difficult time. They look at how things are right now and assume this is how things will always be.
But today is not the same as tomorrow.
Right. A difficult season of your life doesn't have to become your whole life. And a difficult day doesn't have to become your identity.
That's powerful. But there's something else I want to talk about. Sometimes the reason we're not positive isn't because something terrible happened. Sometimes we're just exhausted.
Yes, and that's something people often ignore.
You can tell yourself, be positive. But if you've been sleeping badly, working too much, constantly checking your phone, and never giving yourself time to rest, maybe you don't need a motivational speech. Maybe you need sleep.
Exactly. Sometimes the most positive thing you can do is take care of yourself.
So positivity can be practical.
Very practical. Get enough rest. Eat properly. Go outside. Take a break. Talk to someone you trust. Move your body. Put your phone away for a while. These things sound simple, but they can have a huge effect on how you feel.
I think we sometimes look for complicated solutions to simple problems.
We do. We're always searching for some big change. But sometimes a small change is enough to help us feel different.
Like what?
Maybe you have a stressful day. Instead of going home and spending 3 hours thinking about everything that went wrong, take a walk. Put your phone away. Listen to some music. Have a conversation with someone you care about. Give your mind a chance to slow down.
That sounds simple, but I can see how it would help.
And you don't have to fix your whole life tonight. Sometimes you just need to make the next hour a little better.
The next hour, not the whole future.
Exactly. Because when you're overwhelmed, thinking about everything at once can make you feel even worse. Focus on what's in front of you. One thing, one decision, one step.
And maybe that's what being positive really means. Not pretending that everything is perfect, but believing that you can still do something good with the moment you're in.
Yes. And sometimes that means changing your thoughts. Sometimes it means changing your habits. Sometimes it means taking a break. And sometimes it simply means giving yourself another chance.
Another chance?
Yes. Because we can be very quick to decide that one mistake says something about who we are. But one mistake is just one mistake. It doesn't have to become a sentence about your entire future.
So if I make a mistake, I can say, I made a mistake, not, I'm a failure.
Exactly. And that small difference in language can change the way you think.
You know, Sarah, I think there's a lot more to positivity than people realize.
There really is.
Because maybe the goal isn't to become someone who never feels negative. Maybe the goal is to become someone who knows what to do when those feelings appear.
I think that's a much healthier goal.
And when that negative feeling shows up, maybe the first thing we need to do is...
Exactly. Don't believe every negative thought immediately. A thought is not always a fact. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do about this? That question moves you from worrying to taking action.
So instead of thinking about everything I can't control, I should focus on what I can control.
Exactly. And another powerful habit is gratitude. You don't need a perfect life to appreciate something. Maybe you had a good conversation, learned something new, helped someone, or simply enjoyed a peaceful moment. Small things matter.
I think we often ignore small good moments because we're waiting for something big.
Yes, we say, I'll be happy when I get that job, or I'll be happy when I make more money. But if happiness always depends on the next thing, we'll always be waiting.
So work toward a better future, but don't forget to appreciate the present.
Exactly. And don't compare your everyday life with someone else's best moments, especially on social media.
You see someone traveling, getting promoted, or buying a new house, and suddenly you feel like you're falling behind.
But you're seeing their highlights. You don't see their struggles, failures, or difficult days. Your journey doesn't have to look like theirs.
And that matters when you're learning English too. You don't have to say, my English is terrible. Say, I'm still improving.
Exactly. You don't need perfect English before you start speaking. You start speaking, make mistakes, learn from them, and become more confident.
So positivity isn't pretending everything is perfect.
No, it's believing that even when something goes wrong, you can still take the next step. Maybe that step is practicing English for 10 minutes. Maybe it's taking a walk. Maybe it's resting. Maybe it's simply trying again tomorrow.
One small step can still move you forward.
Exactly. And if today wasn't your best day, that's okay. You don't have to give up because of one difficult day.
Be patient with yourself. Focus on what you can control. Appreciate the small things. Keep learning and keep moving forward.
One day at a time.
And if you enjoyed today's conversation, give this video a like and share it with someone who might need a little positivity today.
And if you're learning English with us, subscribe to Vocab Waves for more natural conversations about real life, confidence, personal growth, and everyday English.
And tell us in the comments, what's one thing that helps you stay positive when you're having a difficult day? We'd love to hear your answer.
And remember, your answer might inspire someone else too.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself.
We'll see you in the next conversation.
See you next time.